Right now at 5, authorities in Jasper County respond to a tractor trailer overturning.
We've got rain across the area and thunderstorms on the way. We'll talk about how long this system's going to last and what happens once it's done coming up.
Betting became legal in Kansas in 2022, and now those interested in the 4 states can now do it at the Kansas Crossing Casino.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So it is raining outside, if anybody hasn't stepped out and noticed this, and it is going to continue to do so for the next several hours. Now, right now, we're just dealing with some moderate rain across the area, which is good, but we also are watching some thunderstorms that are developing across parts of Oklahoma, and they're getting their stuff together. Now, we're not anticipating any strong or severe thunderstorms out of any of this activity, but thunderstorms nonetheless, so we'll keep an eye on them for you just in case they change their mind. But otherwise, we're really just looking at some good old-fashioned storms and some good rain that we need. In Joplin right now, we don't really need to show you that icon because if you look, you can see it is raining. 47, east-northeast breeze at 6, making it feel like 44. Across the region, of course, we're dealing with the rain. Otherwise, we have 41 in Iola and Fort Scott, 45 Chanute, Parsons, Neodesha, 49 Miami, and 48 in Carthage with some 50s in Neosho and Monette. MoDOT camera at I-44 and Rangeline is damp as it is raining outside, so we do have a red light for your morning drive as we're going to be dealing with those thunderstorms through your morning commute, but you can see temperature slowly rising. We do have a yellow light for your drive home. Even though we're going to start to clear out, you know how it is. The roads could still be wet in areas, so just take your time. It's not a race to get home, though I know everyone is eager to get there at the end of the day. But as you can see, we do clear out by this afternoon. We're looking pretty decent. So kids getting on the bus going to need an umbrella and a rain jacket as we're looking at those showers and thunderstorms. Light east breeze and 48 at 7 a.m. Now, most of the storms should be out of here by 3 o'clock, but there might be an isolated shower or storm hanging out. Otherwise, we're up to 55. And you can see the winds shift out of the southwest and start gusting upwards of 25 this afternoon. We're heading for a high of 59. Now, this graphic was a little difficult to blend in exactly what elements I wanted, but the storms should start clearing out again between about 2, 3 o'clock today. Once they do, we're left with mostly clear skies and gusty winds, but as we head into tonight and get on the backside of this system, we stay clear, but we drop down to 32 for our overnight low tonight, so it's going to be just downright cold, but seasonable. And believe it or not, that 32 is actually still a few degrees above normal, as hard as that is to believe. We drop through normal temperatures over the next several days. We clear out for Thursday and Friday in the 40s. Again, still watching some evening rain chances Saturday that could blend into some early wintry mixed stuff on Sunday, and that should be out of here by about 10 o'clock Sunday morning. Back into the 40s, hanging on to the 40s, and then up to 52 next Tuesday with some additional shower chances. So we're going to get through today. We got the storms. Again, should be out of here by about 2, 3 o'clock, and after they are gone, it's almost like a spring-like storm system. It's going to be completely clear on the backside of this, and then it's going to start to get cold. So do be prepared that winter and January are on their way.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that for sure.
Yeah, and we'll watch those storms. Like I said, they shouldn't get unruly. There's a itty-bitty chance that 1 or 2 of them might be a little on the strong side, but I think we're just going to get some good old-fashioned thunderstorms with some good rain that we need here.
We do need that.
We absolutely need that.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, firefighters in Joplin battle a burning vacant house right next to a house that burned on Monday. Joplin Fire Department, Joplin Police, and Met's ambulance responded to reports of a structure fire in the 1800 block of South Pearl at about 2 p.m. Tuesday afternoon. The residence, 1818 South Pearl, is next door to a vacant home that caught on fire on Monday. No one was inside the home. Joplin Fire had the fire under control at 2:30. The Joplin Fire Marshal was investigating the property. A tractor trailer overturns in Jasper County, Missouri. Last night, just before 8 p.m., Jasper Fire and Rescue, Avila Fire Department, and the Carthage Fire Department all responded to reports of an overturned semi near the jurisdictional lines of County Road 80 and Nutmeg Road in Jasper County. At about 10:45, crews managed to right the semi, which had been hauling a large coil of metal. The roadway was reopened to all traffic around midnight. The driver was not injured. An armed man is dead after an exchange of gunfire with law officers in Cherokee County, Kansas. In a follow-up to a story KOAM Morning News broke yesterday morning, The shootout happened Monday night in the area of Southeast 100th and Southeast Messer Road in Galena. Authorities had chased the suspect's truck to that area after getting a report that a man had been pointing a gun at people near Crestline, Kansas. Authorities say the suspect left his truck and fired at law officers, hitting a patrol vehicle. No law enforcement were hurt. Sheriff's deputies returned fire and the suspect fled into a tree line. Investigators say they used a drone and aircraft to search for him and then found him dead, apparently from a self-inflicted gunshot to the head. Authorities have since identified the man as 28-year-old Philip Dorr. His most recent address is listed as Falls City, Nebraska, but he had a history in Kansas and in southwest Missouri. He also had an extensive criminal record. Past charges include drug and property crimes and violent offenses. Among them, criminal use of a weapon, causing terror, and holding a woman against her will. An autopsy is pending. Authorities investigating the presumed murder of a 4-year-old Oklahoma girl have recovered the remains of a child in Grady, Oklahoma. They've not yet confirmed whether they are the remains of missing Athena Brownfield. The news comes as court documents say one of the caretakers of Athena claims she witnessed the child's apparent murder. Alyssa Adams is facing charges of 2 counts of child neglect. Ivan Adams faces 1 count of first-degree murder and 1 count of child neglect. According to the affidavit, Alyssa told OSBI agents that on Christmas around midnight, Ivan severely beat Athena and then left with Athena's body. When he returned, Ivan allegedly told Alyssa he had buried Athena near their old home in Rush Springs, Oklahoma. You can read more from the arrest affidavit on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Kansas Crossing Casino in Pittsburgh is now allowing sports betting. The casino on Tuesday unveiled 3 new kiosks as part of a partnership with Caesars Sportsbook. The kiosk will allow for pregame and live sports betting. Casino officials say they expect the kiosk to be pretty popular.
This just, once again, just adds that next level of excitement. Sports wagering is just kicking off in Kansas. It's going over very well. Lots of excitement, lots of volumes with that. So to come in and basically add just one more thing to do, I think it's a great.
Our very own Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty was allowed to make the first bet on the kiosk. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, Colgan Panthers take on the Northeast Vikings in the Tony Dubray Classic. We'll have more in sports. Plus, Arizona's hosting the Super Bowl, and it's also the first state with legal sports betting to host the event. And coffee lovers rejoice. You can enjoy your favorite beverage and help your liver at the same time. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back.
Well, this week is tournament week for local high school basketball at Southeast High School. Yesterday was day 2 of the Lancer Classic. Boys got started 2 nights ago. The girls get started yesterday. Up first, Baxter Springs Lions face the Neodesha Blue Streaks for a spot in the tournament semifinals. Early on, Kristen Stover working on the block for Neodesha, turns and scores plus the foul. Then Prayer Roebuck on the break scoops it in with the left and 1. Fast start for the Blue Streaks. On the other end, Baxter Springs looking for their first bucket. Lily Connard buries the 3 from the top of the key, but Neodesha too good yesterday. Back to Roebuck. She had 8 in the first quarter alone. Off the window for 2 there. The Blue Streaks start fast and finish this one 58-15. In Liberal, the Colgan boys face Northeast in the first round of the Tony Dubray Classic. Early on, feed goes inside to Tristan Voss for Colgan. Banks it in for 2. Then Jack Schrimmer, top of the key, nice floater at about the free throw line, goes down for Schrimmer. He can also hit the long ball. Schrimmer out there for 3. Colgan rolls by Northeast 58-36. Last night was rivalry night for KU and K-State basketball. The 13th ranked Wildcats host the 2nd ranked Jayhawks in the latest installment of the Sunflower Showdown. Jayhawks have won 7 straight and 15 of 16 against the rival Wildcats. Keontae Johnson for 3, then Desi Sills connects from downtown, part of an 18-6 run for the Wildcats. They're up 10. Jalen Wilson for Kansas. Huge night. Connects on the jumper there. 3 points, 9 boards for Wilson. This game goes into overtime, and in OT, Marquis Noel throws it up to Johnson. He slams it home to give the Wildcats the lead with under 30 to go, and that's how it ends. K-State knocks off Kansas 83-82. The Kansas City Chiefs played their first playoff game this weekend against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Chiefs host the Jags on Saturday, with the winner advancing to the AFC Championship game. This will be the second meeting of the season between the two teams. Kansas City beat Jacksonville by 10 back in November. Since then, they've both been really good. The Chiefs and Jags have both gone 7-1 since the last time they played. Kansas City knows it's the playoffs, and every week is tough from here on out, but this is what they've been preparing for since they hit the field last summer.
You build up for this all season long, and the regular season you take it week by week, but you want to be here in the playoffs, and you know you're going to play the best football teams in the league, and that's what you want to do as a competitor. And so I'm excited to get to go up against a great football team at Arrowhead. That's always a good time. They're a fast, physical team. They fly around, they fly to the football. It's all going to start with up front, our guys blocking their defensive line, which has a lot of great players there. So I'm just going to do whatever I can to have success every play that I get the opportunity to.
Still to come, some laws are serious and some are just rather silly. We'll have the latest, or we'll have some of the silliest laws, rather, from around the world. Plus, we got another check of that rainy forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. We got some rain out there, and if you haven't noticed, or if you're just waking up, haven't gone outside yet, and it's not been super heavy rain, so you may not have noticed it while you were sleeping. However, we are watching thunderstorm activity starting to develop off to our south and southwest here across Oklahoma, and you can see the lightning strikes with these. The good news is we're not really anticipating any strong or severe storms. We are just watching some showers and thunderstorms as they roll up the interstate, and they'll be making their way into our area as the morning progresses. Right now in Joplin, we've got the rain, 47, feels like 44 with an east-northeast breeze at 6. Across the region, obviously, we've got the rain. We have 41 Iola, Fort Scott, 44 Pittsburgh, 49 Miami, 50 in Neosho, up to 53 in Anderson, 48 Carthage, 45 in Lamar. MoDOT camera at I-44 and Rangeline is looking pretty wet right now. The roads are wet. There's water on the camera. It is raining. And because of that, we do have a red light for your morning drive, because as these thunderstorms actually begin to move in from Oklahoma, that'll cause some heavier rain, and you want to just slow down, give yourself plenty of time to get where you're going. We're otherwise not too bad, hanging out in the upper 40s and lower 50s. And for your drive home, we switched to a yellow light because there could still be some wet spots on the roads as they dry out after the rain clears out. We'll otherwise be mostly clear and not too bad temperature-wise. The kids getting on the bus, they need that umbrella, they need that rain jacket, as we're going to have those showers and thunderstorms, light east breeze, 48 at 7 a.m. By the time they get home, most of us should be dry. I'm leaving this on here because there may still be a stray shower or storm out there by 3 o'clock, but most of this activity should be clearing out. We're up to 55, but the winds start gusting out of the southwest, upwards of 25. So we're looking at a high of 59 today. Storms start clearing out roughly 2, 3 o'clock for us. Then we're left with mostly clear skies and decent conditions, just breezy. But then we get on the backside of this system, we drop back down to a low of 32 degrees, but we'll have mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. Now this system is going to make us cold, but it knocks us back down to normal for this time of year. We hang on to the 40s all the way through Monday. Not bad Thursday, Friday, maybe some evening rain Saturday, transitioning to a light wintry mix Sunday morning. No major accumulations expected, but there could be some slick spots. Overnight lows get pretty cold, and then by Monday, we're not too bad. Tuesday, we're up to 52, and then we're watching another slight chance of some evening showers across the area. Well, Arizona is preparing to host the Super Bowl, and it may turn into a big payday when it comes to the gambling on the game. Nicole Garcia has the story.
State Farm Stadium in Glendale is preparing to host Super Bowl 57. Although we don't know which teams will be competing yet, state officials are betting we'll see a huge boost in sports betting next month.
Arizona will be the first state with legal sports betting to host the Super Bowl. We have never seen this happen before, so we have no apples to apples comparison to go off of.
The most recent numbers released by the Department of Gaming show a 27% increase from year to year in October. Arizonans wagered a total of $490 million in bets in October 2021 and about $620 million in October 2022.
So let's say it's more like a 30 or 35% year over year increase. I could certainly see Arizona posting a handle somewhere in the 650, 675, maybe even $700 million range. That would be a record. The record for Arizona so far, March 2022, $690.979 million. So that's the number to hit.
And although the Super Bowl will be played in Glendale, downtown Phoenix is expecting huge Super Bowl crowds. Sportsbooks across the valley are ready to see record-breaking numbers throughout the month of February.
You know, for the Super Bowl, we have over 2,000 ways, if you can believe it, to bet the Super Bowl. We come out with this prop sheet with 700 different prop wagers, which are wagers on, everything from the popular ones, will the coin flip be heads or tails, to will the first score be a safety.
That brings us to our question for you this morning. Should sports betting be legal? Yes or no? We want you to vote on this. You can do so through our website, through our app, and take part in the discussion on our Facebook page. We are back with Health Watch right after this.
Tapping Health Watch this morning. Good news for coffee lovers. Despite its mixed reviews throughout the years, it seems that coffee carries some benefits for your body, especially for your liver. April Baker has more.
There's more to a cup of coffee than what meets the eye.
Writing these grind settings down and charting everything is all about the process.
When talking with Everett Hamby and Wyatt Henry at Three Pines Coffee in Salt Lake City, they say it's more like a science involving different coffee flavor profiles and extraction methods.
It involves a lot of problem solving to create good coffee.
But coffee is also proving to be a good remedy for patients with liver diseases. That's what Dr. Richard Gilroy says. He's Intermountain Healthcare's liver transplant medical director.
Coffee's greatest benefits are in alcohol-associated liver disease and also in fatty liver disease.
Both cause excess fat to build up in the liver, and if left untreated, can lead to liver scarring, cancers, and ultimately the need for a liver transplant. Gilroy says Intermountain Healthcare and University of Utah Health Systems saw 119 Utahns need liver transplants last year, a record number.
I think what we need to also do is say, let's give everyone a little helping hand in the morning.
And that helping hand is in the form of 2 to 3 cups of coffee per day, caffeinated or decaf. Also, Gilroy says pay attention to what you put in your coffee. Avoid heavy cream and sugars. Drinking it black is best. But coffee can only do so much to curbing this problem that impacts millions nationwide.
What we need to work on, however, in the community is addressing the risk factors, which is obesity, which is continuing to rise.
Gilroy says lifestyle changes like eating less and exercising more can make a difference, all while you enjoy that morning cup of joe. I need my creamer though. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we are watching showers and rain across the region, and we're watching thunderstorms rolling in out of Oklahoma. The latest on your forecast coming up.
Right now at 5:30, authorities in Jasper County respond to a tractor trailer overturning.
The roads are wet out there as the rain continues to fall, and even some thunderstorm activity on the way. We'll talk about all of that coming up.
And sports betting became legal in Kansas in 2022, and now those interested in the 4 states can now do it at the Kansas Crossing Casino.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 529. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So it's raining outside, as you know, we figured it would be. We even have a few thunderstorms on the way. So let's take a look at Skywatch Storm Tracker. You can see we've got the rain and some pockets of heavy rain. And as we look down to our south and west, you can see there's some thunderstorms beginning to develop across parts of northeast Oklahoma, say around the Tulsa area, and they're making their way this way. Now, the good news is we're not anticipating any strong or severe thunderstorms this morning, just some good old-fashioned rainmakers out there. Raining right now in Joplin, and of course across the entire area. 47 feels like 44 with an east-north breeze at 6. We are, cool to start the day, but not bad. 45 in Chanute and Parsons, 49 Miami, 50 Neosho, and 46 in Lamar as we start our day. That MoDOT camera at I-44 and Rangeline shows the rain, shows the wet roads, so slow down. We do have a red light for your morning commute because as the morning progresses, this will turn into a little bit more of thunderstorm activity with a little heavier rain, so slow down, give yourself plenty of time. We're going to throw up a yellow light for your drive home because even though we are mostly clear as we head into the evening hours, there could still be a few slick spots on the roads out there. Kids getting on the bus, they're going to need that jacket and umbrella as we're looking at showers and thunderstorms. 48 at 7 a.m. and then the winds are going to pick up later. We're looking at gusts to 25. Most of us should be dry by 3 o'clock, but we've thrown the little thunderstorm icon up there because there could still be a stray shower or storm lingering by 3, up to 55. Heading for a high of about 59 degrees today, and storms clear out by about 2, 3 o'clock for most of us. We're left with mostly clear skies, breezy conditions. On the backside of this system, the winds shift out of the north. We drop back down to a low of 32 tonight under partly cloudy skies. And we're going to get cold but seasonable over the next few days. 40s all the way through Monday. Maybe some evening rain Saturday, turning into some light wintry mix Sunday. No major accumulations expected, but there could be some slick spots. Up to 46 on Monday, and then maybe some evening showers by next Tuesday, and 52. So it's not going to be too terrible. It's just going to be a lot chillier than what it has been here lately.
All right, a little bit of change coming our way, but
hey, sometimes change is
we've been blessed with warmer temperatures, so it's time for the cool down.
Right, exactly.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, firefighters in Joplin battle a burning vacant house right next to a house that burned on Monday. Joplin Fire Department, Joplin Police, and Met's Ambulance responded to reports of a structure fire in the 1800 block of South Pearl at about 2 p.m. Tuesday afternoon. The residence, 1818 South Pearl, is next door to a vacant home that caught fire on Monday. No one was inside the home, and Joplin Fire had the fire under control by 2:30. Joplin Fire Marshal is investigating the property. A tractor trailer overturns in Jasper County, Missouri. Last night, just before 8 p.m., Jasper Fire and Rescue, Avila Fire Department, and the Carthage Fire Department all responded to reports of an overturned semi near the jurisdictional lines of County Road 80 and Nutmeg Road in Jasper County. At about 10:45, crews managed to right the semi, which had been hauling a large coil of metal. The roadway was reopened to all traffic around midnight. The driver was not injured. An armed man is dead after an exchange of gunfire with law officers in Cherokee County, Kansas. In a follow-up to a story KOAM Morning News broke yesterday morning, the shootout happened Monday night in the area of Southeast 100th and Southeast Messer Road in Galena. Authorities had chased the suspect's truck to that area after getting a report that a man had been pointing a gun at people near Crestline, Kansas. Authorities say the suspect left his truck and fired at law officers, hitting a patrol vehicle. No law officers were hurt. Sheriff's deputies returned fire and the suspect fled into a tree line. Investigators say they used a drone and aircraft to search for him and then found him dead, apparently from a self-inflicted gunshot to the head. Authorities have since identified the man as 28-year-old Philip Dorr. His most recent address is listed as Falls City, Nebraska, but he had a history in Kansas and in southwest Missouri. He also had an extensive criminal record. Past charges include drug and property crimes and violent offenses. Among them, criminal use of a weapon, causing terror, and holding a woman against her will. An autopsy is pending. Well, authorities investigating the presumed murder of a 4-year-old Oklahoma girl have recovered the remains of a child in Grady, Oklahoma. They have not yet confirmed whether they are the remains of missing Athena Brownfield. The news comes as court documents say one of the caretakers of Athena claims she witnessed the child's apparent murder. Alyssa Adams is facing charges of 2 counts of child neglect. Ivan Adams faces 1 count of first-degree murder and 1 count of child neglect. according to the affidavit. Alyssa told OSBI agents that on Christmas around midnight, Ivan severely beat Athena and then left with Athena's body. When he returned, Ivan allegedly told Alyssa that he had buried Athena near their old home in Rush Springs, Oklahoma. You can read more from the arrest affidavit on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Kansas Crossing Casino, just outside of Pittsburgh, is now allowing sports betting. The casino unveiled 3 new kiosks as part of a partnership with Caesars Sportsbook. Kiosks will allow for pregame and live sports betting. Casino officials say they expect the kiosks to be pretty popular.
College basketball, college football, whatever the state of Kansas will allow us to book, okay? And there's state regulations that state you can bet sports. We actually send them a sports menu for the different types of sports you can wager on. But literally baseball, football, basketball, hockey, soccer.
Our very own chief meteorologist Doug Hetty was allowed to make the first bet yesterday on the kiosk. Well, the Independence Missouri School District saw a 450% increase in applications this year. School district attributes the sharp increase to its decision to implement a 4-day school week next fall. Mark Pelusi reports.
Keeping a good staff has become an issue for some Missouri schools.
You look at material that the Department of Elementary and Secondary Ed has put out, and it says that 62% of teachers in Missouri leave by their 5th year. So it is a huge problem.
It's a problem Independence School District wants to solve. With that in mind, the district adopted a plan to have 4-day school weeks starting next fall. ISD Superintendent Dr. Dale Hurl says the decision has been a hit. From October to January of last year, the district received 91 applications. Fast forward to this year, after the 4-day work week announcement, and that number has increased to more than 500. An increase of more than 450%.
We consistently hear from people that we are now interviewing that the 4-day work week is something that really appealed to them, and we can't think of any other reason that's led to such an increase in applications other than the 4-day work week.
However, not everyone is a fan of the new policy. We reached out to the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, but they declined an interview today. In December, DESE's Director of Communications was skeptical when asked if the 4-day school week is a good strategy for attracting talent.
When this is a teacher recruitment and retention strategy, if you have so many school districts in a particular geographic area implement this strategy, it's no longer a recruitment and retention tool.
School districts in Missouri have been able to move to the 4-day model since 2009, and currently there are more than 140 schools using that 4-day model, and only one of them has gone back to the traditional 5-day schedule. Well, this morning we're discussing sports betting.
State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona is preparing to host Super Bowl 57. Although we don't know which teams will be competing yet, Arizona state officials are betting they'll see a huge boost in sports betting next month.
The most recent numbers released by Arizona's Department of Gaming shows a 27% increase from year to year in October. Arizonans wagered a total of $490 million in bets in October of 2021 and about $620 million in October of 2022.
That brings us to our question for you this morning. Should sports betting be legal? So far, it's almost an even split. We got 58% of you say it should be, 42% of you say it should not be. So make sure your voice is heard. Go vote at KOAMnewsnow.com/vote. You can also vote in our app and take part in discussion on our Facebook page.
There you go. That's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News, scientists making an exciting announcement regarding a recent discovery, fossils of a mega raptor.
Plus, people and their pets brace for the cold as they go get blessed. We'll have the latest.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Topping World Watch, at least 14 people are dead and over 60 wounded after Islamic extremists bombed a church in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. The bomb detonated while people were praying on Sunday. Authorities said a UN peacekeeping mission helped evacuate the injured to local hospitals. Violence in eastern Congo has persisted for decades as armed groups and self-defense militias fight over land and power. The UN estimates over the years more than 6 million people have been displaced from the conflict and hundreds of thousands face food insecurity. A new video of Brazil's Capitol riots show the eerie similarities the protest had with the U.S. January 6th riots 2 years ago. Police body cam and CCTV video reveals the moment rioters stormed into Brazil's Congress, presidential palace, and the Supreme Court on January 8th. Demonstrators broke windows, damaged property, and even set things on fire while clashing with police. Protesters were angry over the recent election loss of former President Jair Bolsonaro and wanted the armed forces to oust newly elected President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. More than 1,000 people were arrested during the chaos. This week, formal charges were brought against nearly 40 people, and more are expected to be charged in the coming days. Wildfires ripped through parts of Argentina on Tuesday. Firefighters battled flames in the Santa Fe province. The majority of the country is said to be on extreme alert due to an extended drought. The Argentina National Meteorological Service says 2 heat waves at the end of last year left the area vulnerable to fires. Firefighters say the situation likely will not change until rains begin. Well, Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg detained by police in Germany. German police forcibly removed the 20-year-old during a protest near the city of Lützerath. Thunberg was taking part in demonstrations protesting the expansion of a coal mine, which would raze a nearby town. Environmental activists also say the expansion would release large amounts of greenhouse gas emissions that would violate Germany's commitments to the 2015 Paris Climate Accord. Animals receive a special blessing during the feast of St. Anthony of Abbot in Spain. Dogs and cats were blessed outside of a church in Madrid on Tuesday in observance of the annual tradition for Spain's patron saint of animals. A priest sprinkled holy water on the animals, who braved the bitter cold, and the animals appeared to enjoy the attention. Now, this practice is meant to bestow good health and protection for the cats and dogs in the new year. The furry friends were also allowed to go inside the church with their owners to celebrate Mass. Well, planning on going to Spain to build sandcastles? Well, unless you want to get fined, you might want to rethink that. A story in the Daily Mail looks at some of the most strange laws across the globe. Sandcastle building is banned on some beaches in Spain, but they're not the only country with bizarre laws. It's illegal to flush the toilet after 10 p.m. in Switzerland. The government looks at it as noise pollution. And if you own chickens in Quitman, Georgia, don't even think about letting them cross the road. That sounds like a joke waiting to happen. It's mandatory for chicken owners to have full control over them. And Norway has a ban on fireworks unless it is New Year's Eve. And Fairbanks, Alaska made it illegal to give moose alcohol. That happened after a drunken moose rampage occurred in 2007. I'm glad I was not there. That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Well, I'll be honest with you, the toilet flushing thing makes sense because I remember as a kid, I wouldn't flush it at night because it really does make the devil's own noise at 3 a.m. It's noisy and it's terrifying when you're a child. It's a scary sound. You're running from that toilet at 3 a.m., okay? So I agree with that one. Shouldn't flush it after 10 o'clock. Take a look. We've got showers. We've got a few thunderstorms starting to make their way into the area. We got a few more thunderstorms developing across Oklahoma that will eventually make their way up into our region as well. The good news is no strong or severe thunderstorms expected. Rain continues to fall in Joplin and across the region. 47 feels like 44 with that east-north breeze at 6. Temperatures across the area look like this. 42 Fort Scott, Nevada, 46 Lamar, 45 Pittsburgh, 49 Miami, as well as in Neosho. MoDOT camera, I-44 and Rangeline. Traffic is flowing, but be careful. The roads are wet because, well, it's raining out there. We do have a red light for your morning commute because as thunderstorms continue to build, we'll see some heavier rain. Could make driving a little difficult, so just give yourself time. Yellow light for the evening commute because even though we are clear and not too bad temperature-wise, the rain may still leave a few slick spots out there. Kids getting on the bus this morning, they're going to need that jacket and umbrella. 48 with some showers and thunderstorms at 7 a.m. Might be a stray storm or two holding on by 3, but most of us should be dry. We're looking at 55 and winds gusting to 25 by this afternoon. Up to 59, storms clear out by about 2-3 o'clock. We're left with mostly clear skies, gusty winds, and we get on the backside of this system. Winds shift out of the north. We drop back down to a low of 32 tonight, so downright cold, but partly cloudy skies. And that cold is actually still above normal for the low. We stay relatively normal over the next several days, into the 40s tomorrow and Friday. Maybe some evening rain turning into a light wintry mix Sunday morning. No major accumulations expected, but of course that could lead to slick spots on the road, so do be cautious out there. 46 Monday and then 52 next Tuesday with the possibility of some additional evening showers. And as you can see, lows get chilly as well. And we're back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Firefighters in Joplin battle a burning vacant house right next to a house that burned on Monday. Joplin Fire Department, Joplin Police, and Met's ambulance responded to reports of a structure fire in the 1800 block of South Pearl at about 2 p.m. Tuesday afternoon. Now, the residence, 1818 South Pearl, is next door to a vacant home that caught fire on Monday. No one was inside the home. Joplin Fire had the blaze under control in about 30 minutes. The Joplin Fire Marshal is investigating the property. A tractor trailer overturns in Jasper County, Missouri. Last night, just before 8 p.m., Jasper Fire and Rescue, Avila Fire Department, and the Carthage Fire Department all responded to reports of an overturned semi near the jurisdictional lines of County Road 80 and Nutmeg Road in Jasper County. At about 10:45, crews managed to right the semi, which had been hauling a large coil of metal. The roadway was reopened to all traffic around midnight. The driver was not injured. Kansas Crossing Casino in Pittsburgh is now allowing sports betting. The casino on Tuesday unveiled 3 new kiosks as part of a partnership with Caesars Sportsbook. The kiosk will allow for pregame and live sports betting. Casino officials say they expect the kiosk to be pretty popular. Doman Kitchen is a new cooking school in Joplin, making learning how to cook more accessible in the community. Since opening 3 weeks ago, classes have been sold out, and Doman Kitchen is adding more classes and chefs to meet the community's needs. They say cooking classes will improve your skills in the kitchen, but connecting with other foodies can have a greater impact. Barb Doman established Doman Kitchen not only to teach others how to cook, but to create a bigger foodie community in Joplin. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Do you ever wish you could transport back in time nearly 70 million years and catch a glimpse of some of the prehistoric giants that once dominated the earth? Well, Jackie Ibanez takes a look at the latest fossil discoveries from researchers in South America.
The steep mountainous terrain of Chile's Patagonia region is boasting some impressive dinosaur discoveries. Here, scientists have unveiled the remains of megaraptors, large meat eaters that roamed portions of South America roughly 70 million years ago.
The discovery namely consisted of rescuing fossils of teeth. And these pieces have a singular characteristic that let us interpret them as belonging to the megaraptor dinosaurs.
Also unearthed were the fossils of velociraptor-like dinosaurs researchers believe were covered in feathers. These types of prehistoric beasts, known as theropods, are closely linked to modern-day birds. This collection of fossils are the southernmost dinosaur remains found outside of Antarctica. Before their discovery, researchers say there wasn't much information about theropods existing in high-latitude regions of South America. Meanwhile, officials at the University of Chile say some fossils featured characteristics not found on similar raptors discovered in nearby Argentina and Brazil.
They belong to a quite special and enigmatic type of dinosaur because we still don't know for certain its taxonomic affinities.
Well, besides discovering fossils, archaeologists were able to learn more about the region's previous climate. Rock samples in the area showed a dramatic shift in temperatures, which crews believe may have been triggered by the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs. We'll be right back. Well, the Brookfield Zoo in Chicago, Illinois celebrated a sweet 16th birthday for a reticulated giraffe named Arnita on Tuesday. Arnita was served a special cake for her birthday bash. made of bran flakes, biscuits, and icy juice gumdrops. Yummy. And zoo staffers saying happy birthday to her. Aww. Although the Chinese public got to meet these adorable cubs in September, the world is recently getting a look at 13 adorable giant panda cubs, which means it's the official world public debut of these adorable giant cubs. All 13 of the cubs were born in 2022. And these are 13 out of 15 giant panda cubs successfully bred at the Chengdu research base of giant panda breeding in Chengdu, China. Now, the base is famous for its work in breeding and protecting giant pandas, red pandas, and other endangered wild animals exclusive to China.
We've got some showers, even a few thunderstorms starting to make their way into the area. And the good news is no strong or severe thunderstorms expected, but they are going to bring us some much needed rain. In Joplin right now, it's 49, feeling like 47 with an east-northeast breeze at 6. And it is raining. It is raining across the region today. We have 41 Iola, 45 Pittsburgh, Parsons, Chanute, Neodesha, Sedan, Independence, 49 in Miami, Neosho, 48 Carthage, and 46 in Lamar. MoDOT camera I-44 and Rangeline is looking pretty wet out there. That's why we do have a red light for you, because any thunderstorm activity we get through your morning drive could bring some heavier rain. Yellow light for the drive home will be clear, will be breezy, but there could still be some slick spots on the road. Kids on the bus, they're going to need that jacket and umbrella. Thunderstorms at 7 a.m., 48. Winds start gusting to 25 out of the southwest later. Maybe a stray storm or two. Most of us should be dry by 3 o'clock. 55. High of 59. Storms clear out about 2, 3 o'clock today, and then we'll be left with mostly clear and breezy conditions. Backside of this system, we drop down to 32. It gets cold and partly cloudy. We're back with more right after this.
Right now at 6, the Joplin Fire Department battles a vacant house fire in the 1800 block of South Pearl, right next door to one that burned on Monday.
We got some showers, thunderstorms, wet roads out there. We're going to talk about how long the storms will last and what's going to happen when they're gone. Coming up.
And Joplin memorializes 2 fallen officers with a bench marked with their badge numbers in the parking lot where their lives were taken.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner, coming up on 6:01 on this Wednesday. Can you believe it's Wednesday?
Right?
Yeah, we are halfway through the week. Time flies when you're having fun, or time's fun when you're having flies. Could go either way. You never know for sure. What else is going on today? It's raining. And it's some much needed rain that's happening out there right now. Even a few thunderstorms out there as well. The good news is no strong or severe storms. We're watching additional thunderstorm development across northeast Oklahoma. So it's some much needed rain. And if we take a wider view, you can see there's some more activity out by southwest of Oklahoma City. And that will eventually begin to make its way up our way as well. So we do have rain for a good portion of the morning and into the early afternoon. 49 in Joplin with the rain. 47 east is what it feels like. East-northeast breeze at 6. Across the area, we got the rain. We got cool temperatures. 41, Yates Center, Iola, Fort Scott. 45, Chanute, Parsons, Neodesha, and Independence. 48, Chitopa. 49, Miami. 50, Neosho. 49, Carthage, and 46 in Lamar. MoDOT camera, I-44 and Rangeline. It is wet because it is raining. We got a red light for your morning drive because as we see some thunderstorm development, we'll see some heavier rain. Could make it a little tough to drive at times, and of course the roads will be slick, so be careful. Yellow light for your drive home is we're mostly clear for your evening commute, but there could still be a few wet spots on the roadway. Kids getting on the bus are definitely going to need that umbrella and jacket as we're looking at showers and thunderstorms. 48 at 7 a.m. with a light easterly breeze. And as the bus brings them home, there may be a stray shower or storm holding on by 3 o'clock. I think most of us will be dry, but winds will be gusting upwards of 25 and 55 degrees by 3 o'clock. 59 for the high today. Storms should start clearing out by about 2 to 3 o'clock today. We'll be left with mostly clear skies and breezy conditions. And then we get on the backside of this system. Winds shift out of the north. Temperatures drop pretty quickly down to 32 for an overnight low under partly cloudy skies. And this rain, again, once it clears out, we're going to be decent until we head into Saturday, and then we'll see another chance of some showers and maybe even a little bit of a wintry mix as we head into Sunday morning. And you can see real quick where our rain chances begin to really tank off there. You can see for Joplin, the Pittsburgh area, and the Miami area, those rain chances will drop off rather quickly as we head later into the morning and afternoon hours. We're looking at anywhere from another half inch to almost almost an inch of rain for some of us out there. I don't want to show you that yet. It's not time for that yet. This system does bring our temperatures back to normal, so it's going to feel cold compared to what we've seen. We're in the 40s tomorrow and Friday. Maybe that evening shower Saturday evening could lead to a light wintry mix Sunday morning. No significant accumulations, but could lead to some slick spots. Up to 46 Monday, 52 next Tuesday with some additional evening shower chances. So we're going to go back to normal. It's going to feel downright cold compared to where we've been, but winter's still here. January's still here. Going back to normal had to happen eventually, and we are at that point now.
At some point, we had to get cold again.
We did, and we are.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Well, firefighters in Joplin battle a burning vacant house right next to a house that burned on Monday. Joplin Fire Department, Joplin Police, and Met's ambulance responded to reports of a structure fire in the 1800 block of South Pearl at about 2 p.m. Tuesday afternoon. The residence, 1818 South Pearl, is next door to a vacant home that caught fire on Monday. No one was inside the home. Joplin Fire had the fire under control in about 30 minutes. The Joplin Fire Marshal is investigating the property. A tractor trailer overturns in Jasper County, Missouri. Last night, just before 8 p.m., Jasper Fire and Rescue, Avila Fire Department, and Carthage Fire all responded to reports of an overturned semi near the jurisdictional lines of County Road 80 and Nutmeg Road in Jasper County. At about 10:45, crews managed to right the semi, which had been hauling a large coil of metal. The roadway was reopened to all traffic around midnight. The driver was not injured. Authorities investigating the presumed murder of a 4-year-old Oklahoma girl recovered the remains of a child in Grady, Oklahoma. They have not confirmed whether they are the remains of missing Athena Brownfield, though. The news comes as court documents say one of the caretakers of Athena claims she witnessed the child's apparent murder. Alyssa Adams is facing charges of 2 counts of child neglect. Ivan Adams faces 1 count of first-degree murder and 1 count of child neglect. According to the affidavit, Alyssa told OSBI agents on Christmas around midnight, Ivan severely beat Athena and then left with Athena's body. When he returned, Ivan allegedly told Alyssa he had buried Athena near their old home in Rush Springs, Oklahoma. You can read more from the arrest affidavit on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. On Tuesday, the city of Joplin dedicated a memorial bench in honor of the 2 Joplin police officers killed in the line of duty last year. The bench is in the parking lot where they were killed, outside the Buckle at the North Park Crossing Shopping Center. Joplin police officer Jake Reed and Corporal Ben Cooper were killed by gunmen there on March 8th of last year. That gunman later died in a second exchange of gunfire at another location. Well, Domen Kitchen is a new cooking school in Joplin, making learning how to cook more accessible in the community. And since opening 3 weeks ago, classes have been sold out, and Domen Kitchen is adding more classes and chefs to meet the community's needs. They say cooking classes will improve your skills in the kitchen, but connecting with other foodies can have a greater impact. Barb Domen established Domen Kitchen not only to teach others how to cook, but to create a bigger foodie community in Joplin.
11 years ago, we came to Joplin and there was nothing. I wanted to take cooking classes and there was nothing to do. I had to go to Tulsa, Kansas City, or Arkansas to take a class. And so 4 years ago, I decided I'm going to start a cooking school and provide the service that I enjoy to other people.
Domen Kitchen is currently accepting new students for a variety of classes. For more information, you can check out our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Coming up when the KOAM Morning News transitions over, our own Fox 14 Amber Jenkins will take us inside the Domen Kitchen for a closer look at what they're cooking up for the community. Well, it's time for nominations for the 4 states' finest, our 2023 Viewers' Choice Awards for KOAM News Now. You can go to KOAMnewsnow.com/finest and nominate your favorite businesses. You can submit a nominee for any of several categories, including health, fitness, shopping, restaurants, and more. You help choose the finest, and each week, one viewer will randomly be chosen to win $100. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, guns and airline security.
The Transportation Security Administration stops a record number of firearms from getting through airport security. I'm Elise Preston with a look at the tools TSA officers are using to help keep guns off planes.
Plus, could a controversial cooking ingredient be making a comeback? We'll meet two chefs giving MSG a second chance. And we're going from rain chances back to cold temperatures. Chris has another look at your 4-state forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch this morning, more lawmakers are joining the chorus of calls for freshman GOP Congressman George Santos to be investigated. Congressman Richie Torres is the latest. The Democrat from New York spoke in the Long Island district Santos represents. He called on the Federal Election Commission to find out where Santos got $700,000 he used for his campaign. Santos has refused to reveal the source. So far, House GOP leaders have not asked Santos to resign. Victims are speaking out after police in Albuquerque, New Mexico say they've caught the, quote, mastermind behind a series of shootings targeting the homes of local Democratic officials that began in December. A SWAT team took 39-year-old Solomon Pena into custody on Monday. He ran as a Republican for a New Mexico State House seat in November. Police say after he lost the election, he hired 4 people to shoot at the homes of Democratic officials. Police report ties the shootings to Pena's vehicle. In one of the shootings, police say Pena went along and pulled the trigger himself. The Transportation Security Administration stopped a record number of guns at airport security checkpoints last year. The federal agency reports airline passengers tried to bring more than 6,500 guns onto planes in their carry-on luggage. Elise Preston has the details.
Look at this gun stuffed into a raw chicken, or these smuggled firearm parts pulled from jars of peanut butter. In 2022, Transportation Security Administration officers found 6,542 firearms carried by airport passengers, the most the agency has ever seen. Rick Coates is a frequent traveler and says he still feels safe.
I'd rather hear that than hear that 6,500 weren't found. We just need to better educate people not to do stupid things.
In fact, the #1 reason passengers gave for having a gun was "I forgot," according to former TSA Administrator John Pistol.
Well, that's pretty lame in my opinion, because the #1 rule of gun safety is know where your weapon is.
According to a new report from the TSA, an alarming 88% of the firearms were loaded, with airports in Atlanta, Dallas, Houston, Nashville, and Phoenix leading the nation in the number of weapons seized. Pistol credits the increased number of CT scanners now in use.
It's like a X-ray on steroids. It literally allows the officer to manipulate the screen so they're seeing the object, the carry-on bag, from different angles and in 3-dimensional.
The jump in guns stopped during screenings comes as the TSA increased the fine for weapon violations to nearly $15,000.
Passengers caught with a weapon also lose pre-check eligibility for up to 5 years. They can face additional state and local fines, and in some airports, local authorities will make an immediate arrest. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
In April, North Carolina Congressman Madison Cawthorn was cited for attempting to bring a gun through security at the Charlotte Douglas International Airport. That's according to local police. That's a look at one of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got some showers. We've even got a few rumbles of thunder out there. Most of us getting in on this rain action. And even if you're getting a little break, there's definitely more on the way as we look off into Oklahoma. A few more thunderstorms developing, a few more showers out there. And if we look a little further out, you look out just west of Oklahoma City, more activity beginning to build across the area as well. All of this making its way our direction. We're going to talk about how long the rain's going to last and what temperatures are going to do following the rain when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is 6:17, time for a little weather trivia. We want to know, what is it called when there is a corona discharge from a pointed object during a storm? Is it a brown dwarf, Typhindra, St. Elmo's fire, or plasmaderm? We're going to find out the answer in just a moment. But first, well, we got plenty of rain out there across the region, even some little thunderstorms starting to develop across the area. We look back into parts of northeast Oklahoma, you can see where some thunderstorm activity is trying to get going across the region. And as we zoom out a little more, you can see more shower and thunderstorm activity developing just to the west of Oklahoma City. And we'll see all of this rolling through today. You can see the rain falling in Joplin right now, 49, feeling like 47 with an east-northeast breeze at 6. Rain across the region and cool temperatures as well. We got some 41s in Yates Center, Iola, and Fort Scott. 45s in Pittsburgh, Parsons, Chanute, Neoda, Shea, and Independence. Up to 49 in Miami, 50 in Neosho, and 49 in Carthage as we start our day. MoDOT camera, I-44 and range line is a little bit on the wet side with this rain. That's why we have a red light for your morning drive, as we'll have the thunderstorm activities. It could bring some heavier rain out there, so it's going to make the roads slick. It's also going to make it a little difficult to drive with some of the heavier rain, so do give yourself plenty of time to get where you're going. Holding on to a yellow light for your drive home. Even though we're going to be mostly clear and starting to dry out a bit, there could still be a few slick spots on the roads. Kids getting on the bus this morning, going to need that jacket and umbrella as we're looking at 48 and some thunderstorm activity, a light easterly breeze. And then later, most of us should be dry, but there could still be a stray shower or two out there by 3 o'clock. 55, and as you can see, the winds shift out of the southwest and they start gusting to 25 as this system starts to roll on off to the east up to our north. We're going to get on the backside of this guy. All right, 59 for a high. Showers and thunderstorms should come to an end about 2, 3 o'clock today. Then we'll just be mostly clear and breezy. And as the system continues to move on, we'll get on the far back side of it. Winds shift out of the north. Temperatures drop back down to 32 for our overnight low under partly cloudy skies. So at least that's not too bad. So on the future track, once this activity goes ahead and gets on out of here this evening, we'll be left with just the cold conditions and partly cloudy skies. We got partly cloudy conditions tomorrow. And then as we head into Saturday evening and late afternoon and evening, we see additional shower chances start to build into the area, and as temperatures drop, we could even see a light wintry mix as we head into Sunday morning, and then this will kick out of here, and that will be gone, which will be good. And the good news is we're not anticipating any significant accumulations with this the snow activity, but there could be slick spots. You can see where the rain chances begin to really tank off this afternoon, and roughly the same time for all of us, Joplin, Pittsburgh, and Miami. This is where that rain just drops on down and gets on out of here. And we're looking at anywhere from a ½ inch, maybe upwards of just shy of an inch of rain. So it's a much needed rainfall out there that we will be getting. Now, for the answer to our weather trivia question, what is it called when there's a corona discharge from a pointed object during a storm? Well, if you picked St. Elmo's fire, you would be correct. It takes place when there's a strong electrical field in the atmosphere, and that causes a ball of light or plasma to appear. In fact, in the old sailing days, some sailors would see these on their ships, and they actually regarded them as religious, believe it or not. All right, this system gets us cold, but back to normal for this time of year. We hang on to the 40s through Monday. There's those rains and wintry mixed chances Saturday into Sunday. We have additional evening shower chances Tuesday up to 52. A wintry mix possible next Wednesday, 37. As you can see, we get just downright cold after that. More of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, slow recovery from a sports concussion does not mean return to action is not possible. A new study found about 75% of athletes who needed more than a month to recover from a concussion were able to resume activity after another month of rest. Doctors say this finding can help manage expectations and help with decisions about medical disqualifications. New research at the University of Alabama, Birmingham finds high blood pressure and diabetes may be less of a stroke risk factor as people get older. For seniors, doctors say the focus to prevent strokes should shift to avoid smoking and maintaining a healthy heart. And the benefits of vitamin D may diminish for overweight people. A study at Brigham and Women's Hospital found vitamin D metabolized differently in people with an elevated body mass index. Researchers found a 30 to 40% reduction in cancer deaths and autoimmune disease among people taking vitamin D supplements with lower BMIs. And a controversial culinary ingredient may be making a comeback. MSG, once widely used, the seasoning was shunned over perceived health concerns and social stigma, but recent research shows the flavor booster is safe to consume. Michael George introduces us to two chefs giving MSG a second chance.
At this Arlington, Virginia takeout restaurant, Lucky Danger, Chef Tim Ma's secret ingredient isn't really a secret.
MSG, it's very little.
It's a seasoning with a controversial history. Many Americans grew up hearing it's unhealthy or even dangerous to consume. But now some, like Ma, are challenging that idea.
I will say, I think every dish has it in there. We actually sit it here on the wok station because it is the last component of every dish that goes out.
Chef and author J. Kenji Lopez Alt says the safety of MSG, or monosodium glutamate, first came into question in 1968 when a doctor wrote a letter to the New England Journal of Medicine titled Chinese Restaurant Syndrome.
This wasn't a published study. It was a letter written to the journal by a doctor saying, hey, I've noticed when I go to Chinese restaurants and eat MSG-rich foods, I get these certain symptoms.
After others reported similar symptoms, an MSG backlash began.
The whole idea has some racist undertones as well.
Some people still claim to experience symptoms such as headaches or drowsiness after eating foods containing MSG. But recent scientific research shows that when consumed in moderation, MSG is harmless. While MSG is often associated with Asian cuisine, it's long been an ingredient in American foods, from Campbell's soups and Heinz ketchup to KFC and Chick-fil-A.
You never hear somebody say, I have Doritos syndrome or KFC syndrome.
You don't hear about it as like a specific term the way Chinese restaurant syndrome is.
The ingredient is now seeing a comeback, even in some unusual ways.
All right, so this first one's just going to be a regular.
Lopez Alt showed us how MSG can be used in cocktails. He set up this taste test.
Oh, this is different. I'm going to guess that this is the one with MSG in it.
Correct.
I get that savory flavor you were talking about.
Back at Lucky Danger, Ma's slogan is American Chinese by a Chinese American.
Some people would say it might just be easier for you to avoid the whole thing and not use MSG.
But then the food won't be as good. It's a very necessary ingredient for us.
Michael George, CBS News, New York.
MSG triggers our fifth taste, umami, which is that savory or meatiness quality. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we are watching rain continue to fall in Joplin. From our camera at 7th and Rangeline, you can see widespread showers, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder in there as well. Some additional development taking place across northeastern Oklahoma, so we could see some additional storms. And as we look further out, you can see just west of Oklahoma City, more showers and thunderstorms developing as it will continue to rain through the day. 49 in Joplin, feeling like 47, east-northeast breeze at about 6 miles an hour across the area. The rain and some cool temperatures. 41 in Iola, 45 Pittsburgh, 50 Miami, and 50 in Neosho. MoDOT camera is wet at Rangeline and I-44. Red light for your morning drives. We'll see those thunderstorms, some heavy rain, and some slick spots. And yellow light for the drive home. Even though we're clear and a bit mild, could still see some wet spots out there. And kids getting on the bus, grab that umbrella and jacket. Showers and thunderstorms, 7 a.m., 48, light easterly breeze. Later today, a stray shower or two possible. Most of us dry, 55, and winds gusting upwards of 25. We're back with more after this.
Right now at 6:30, the Joplin Fire Department battles a vacant house fire in the 1800 block of South Pearl, right next door to one that burned on Monday.
The rain continues to fall across the area, making for wet roadways. We'll tell you how long the rain's going to last and about the temperatures following the rain coming up.
And Joplin memorializes two fallen officers with a bench marked with their badge numbers in the parking lot where their lives were taken.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:31. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So we have got some rain that is falling out there, and it will continue to do so for the next few hours, which is good because we need this rain. So even if you're in a little bit of a lull in the rain, do not worry. There's more on the way. You can see the showers, even a few rumbles of thunder out there. Additional development taking place across parts of northeastern Oklahoma, and even more showers and thunderstorms developing just to the west of Oklahoma City. And it will continue to rain through the morning and into the early afternoon. We're at 49 in Joplin, clearly raining in our tower cam there. Feels like 47, east-north breeze at 6 across the area. The rain It's a cool one. 41 in Iola, 42 Fort Scott, 45 Pittsburgh, 50 Miami, Neosho, 49 Carthage, and 46 in Lamar as we start our day. MoDOT camera, I-44 and Range Line. It looks wet. Because it is wet, because there is water falling from the sky, and it will continue to do so. So that's why we do have a red light for your morning commute, as we'll see some showers, thunderstorms, could make for wet roads, obviously. And then, of course, with thunderstorms, we could see some heavier rain that could reduce your visibility a little bit. Yellow light for the drive home, because even though we clear out, we could still see a few wet spots out there on the roadways, so be cautious. Kids getting on the bus, be prepared for a wet wait on that bus, as we're 48 at 7 a.m. Showers and thunderstorms, light easterly breeze. As the system rolls through, there could be a stray shower or two by 3 o'clock. I think most of us will be dry. We're at 55, and the winds shift out of the southwest at 10 to 15, start gusting to 25. Now for today, we're looking at a high of about 59. Showers and thunderstorms should come to an end about 2 to 3 o'clock for all of us today, and that'll leave us mostly clear and breezy. And as the system rolls on out of here, we're going to get on the backside of it with northerly winds dropping us back down to 32 degrees tonight under partly cloudy skies, so it is going to feel cold, but we're returning to normal for this time of year, and normal is going to feel very cold compared to what we've seen. We're down to 44 tomorrow, 47 Friday. Some evening showers Saturday could translate into a light wintry mix by Sunday morning. No significant accumulations expected, but could lead to some slick spots, so do be careful. Up to 46 by next Monday and 52 next Tuesday with some additional evening shower chances. So we got some good rain chances in our forecast. Got to watch out Saturday night into Sunday just for those slick spots out there. And of course, it's going to get just downright cold compared to what we've seen over the last several days.
That's right. Gotta be ready for the cold to return.
It's got to be winter sometime, and I'd rather it be winter in normal fashion than below normal fashion.
That's right. All right. Thanks, Chris. Well, firefighters in Joplin battle a burning vacant house right next to a house that burned on Monday. Joplin Fire Department, Joplin Police, and Met's ambulance responded to reports of a structure fire in the 1800 block of South Pearl at about 2 p.m. Tuesday afternoon. The residence, 1818 South Pearl, is next door to a vacant home that caught fire on Monday. No one was inside the home. Joplin Fire had the fire under control in about 30 minutes. The Joplin Fire Marshal is investigating the property. An armed man is dead after an exchange of gunfire with law officers in Cherokee County, Kansas. Shootout happened Monday night in the area of Southeast 100th and Southeast Messer Road in Galena. Authorities had chased the suspect's truck to that area after getting a report that a man had been pointing a gun at people near Crestline, Kansas. Authorities say the suspect left his truck and fired at law officers, hitting a patrol vehicle. No officers were hurt. Sheriff's deputies returned fire and the suspect fled into a tree line. Investigators say they used a drone and aircraft to search for him and then found him dead, apparently from a self-inflicted gunshot to the head. Authorities have since identified the man as 28-year-old Philip Dorr. His most recent address is listed as Falls City, Nebraska, but he had a history in Kansas and in Southwest Missouri. He also has an extensive criminal record. Past charges include drug and property crimes and violent offenses, among them criminal use of a weapon, causing terror, and holding a woman against her will. An autopsy is pending. On Tuesday, a memorial bench is dedicated in honor of the 2 Joplin police officers killed in the line of duty last year. The bench is in the parking lot where they were killed outside the Buckle at North Park Crossing Shopping Center. Joplin police officer Jake Reed and Corporal Ben Cooper were killed by a gunman there on March 8th of last year. That gunman later died in a second exchange of gunfire at another location. The Missouri Department of Conservation releases numbers for the 2021-22 deer season. Total of 299,721 deer were harvested during the season. Of those numbers, 140,736 were antlered bucks, 27,029 were button bucks, and 131,956 were does. Top harvest counties for the overall deer season are Franklin with 6,471, Callaway with 5,438, and Jefferson with 4,966. That's a lot of deer.
That is a lot.
Well, this morning we're discussing sports betting.
Yeah, State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona is preparing to host Super Bowl 57. Although we don't know which teams will be competing yet, Arizona state officials are gambling they'll see a huge boost in sports betting next month.
The most recent numbers released by Arizona's Department of Gaming show a 27% increase from year to year in October. Arizonans wagered a total of $490 million in bets in October of 2021 and about $620 million in October of 2022.
That brings us to our question for you this morning. Should sports betting be legal? Still almost an even split, but the scales here have shifted. Now it's 41% of you say it should be. 59% of you say it should not be. Make sure you take time to vote through our website, through our app, and take part in the discussion on our Facebook page.
All right, that's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News, Congress has until tomorrow to come up with a solution to resolve its debt ceiling issue. But what exactly does that mean? We've got a crash course in what the debt ceiling should mean to you and your finances.
And we're continuing to track some showers, even a few rumbles of thunder out there. We'll break down your full forecast coming up.
In Consumer Watch this morning, nearly 40% of Americans say they skipped or put off seeking medical care last year due to high cost, and that's according to a new Gallup poll. That's a 12-point increase over the previous year amid the highest inflation rate in more than 4 decades. The survey found low-income Americans were more likely to delay receiving care, with 27% of respondents admitting they skipped treatments for very or somewhat serious illnesses. Could Microsoft be the latest tech giant to cut jobs? A Sky News report says the Washington state-based company is planning to slash 5% of its global workforce, totaling around 11,000 employees. Already, Twitter, Meta, and Amazon are among the tech companies to announce layoffs in recent months. Microsoft declined to comment on the Sky News report, telling CBS News it does not comment, quote, on rumor. And 70 years after the introduction of the first Corvette, Chevrolet is set to release its fastest model yet, and it's a gas-electric hybrid. Later this year, the new all-wheel drive E-Ray will speed onto the market with the ability to go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in a head-jerking 2.5 seconds. Pricing will start at $104,000 for the coupe version and $111,000 for the convertible. Well, get ready to hear a lot about the debt ceiling. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says the United States will reach its debt limit tomorrow. And what does that mean for your wallet? Not much just yet, but if Congress doesn't settle on a solution, it could take a devastating toll on the U.S. economy and impact your bottom line. Karen Kafa has the latest.
The debt ceiling will be the talk of Washington until lawmakers on Capitol Hill can compromise and take action. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen starting a clock for Congress to either raise or suspend the country's borrowing cap beyond the current $31.4 trillion or risk an unprecedented U.S. default. Yellen wrote lawmakers on Friday to say the U.S. will hit its debt limit on Thursday, but the Treasury Department will take measures to allow breathing room until at least June. The last time a political debate pushed the U.S. to a brink of default was 2011, and the chaos resulted in the first long-term credit rating downgrade in the nation's history.
To threaten to not pay America's debts would put all of us at risk.
But new House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has indicated he may take a hard line on a debt increase, likely to satisfy some conservatives at the heart of his bruising battle for the gavel.
Let's start paying this debt off and make sure the future generation has as many opportunities as we do.
If Congress can agree on an increase, experts say interest rates on everything from your credit card debt to auto loans to mortgages could skyrocket as it becomes more expensive for the U.S. to borrow. The stock market could tank, hammering retirement accounts. And the Treasury Department might decide to delay or temporarily halt payments like Social Security checks, Medicare disbursements, and military pay to cover debts. And while Washington isn't panicking just yet, the White House has recommended that an agreement come sooner rather than later to avoid rattling an already uncertain U.S. economy. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
That's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're continuing to track some showers, even a few rumbles of thunder out there as we go through the morning hours. Some of us getting in on a brief break, but as you can see, more activity is on the way. We look back to northeast Oklahoma, additional showers, even a few thunderstorms developing across the area, and even back toward the west of Oklahoma City, a few more showers and thunderstorms building in out there, and it's going to rain throughout all of the morning and into the early afternoon as well. We're looking at it running until about 2-3 o'clock today. We're at 49 in Joplin with the rain. Feels like 47 with an east breeze at 6. Rain across the region, and it's a cool rain. We got 41 Iola, 42 Fort Scott, 46 Pittsburgh, 50 Miami, 53 Grove, 50 Neosho Anderson, and 49 in Carthage this morning. MoDOT camera, I-44 and range line is on the wet side as the rain continues to fall. We do have a red light for your morning drive as we'll continue to see thunderstorms through your morning commute. Some of these could have some heavy rain, and of course that'll lead to slick roads and maybe some visibility issues. Yellow light for your drive home because as we are clear, we're looking at the possibility of some wet spots still hanging on out there. Kids are going to need the jacket and umbrella this morning. Showers, thunderstorms at 7 a.m., 48 with that light east breeze. Wind starts gusting southwest 10 to 15, blowing southwest 10 to 15, gusting to 25. Stray shower or two possible at 3, but I think most of us will be driving 55. 59 for our high today. We clear out 2-3 o'clock. We're left with clear skies, gusty winds. We on the backside of this system, it gets cold down to 32 tonight under partly cloudy skies. Well, we've made it to the halfway point of the week. So what we're going to do next is celebrate with some birthdays and anniversaries. But first, we're going to make a pit stop in New York to see what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Tony DeCopel. Coming up on CBS Mornings, actress Aisha Tyler will be with us to talk about bringing back her beloved character in the new TV revival of Criminal Minds, Evolution. Coming up on CBS Mornings.
We take this time to honor today's four-state hero, Sergeant Raymond Mitchell, the native of Opolis and Galena, Kansas, served in Vietnam from 1969 to November of 1971 as a part of the 2nd Battalion, 506th Infantry Regiment, 101st Airborne. To Sergeant Raymond Mitchell, we thank you, today's four-state hero.
All right, Wednesday birthdays today, and we actually have a belated birthday wish going out to Jace Schaub in Franklin, who turned 9 yesterday. Happy birthday, Jace.
All right, Deja Anderson is celebrating birthday number Sweet 16. I can talk. Sweet 16 in Oswego. Happy birthday from Aunt Karen, Mom, and Dad.
Hey, we've all been there before. All right, happy 35th birthday to Ashley Stagner in Joplin. I actually graduated with her, so a very happy birthday to you, and here's to many more ahead.
All right, Justin Schultz celebrating birthday number 43 this year. Justin is in Crestline.
And we've got Debbie Red and Jimmy Pingree. They are twins, both celebrating birthday number 56 today. Happy birthday.
All right, happy birthday, Debbie and Jimmy. And a happy birthday all the way out in Chautauqua, Kansas to Michelle Hildebrand. Hope you have a wonderful day.
And last but certainly not least, we've got Grayson Terrell celebrating a birthday in Columbus. Happy birthday to all of you, and we want to continue to celebrate your birthdays here on the KOAM Morning News. Tanya, how do they do that?
It's simple. The fastest way to get them on is to email them to either of those two addresses, birthdays with an S at KOAMTV.com or birthdays at KOAMNewsNow.com.
And you know what else you can do with your birthday? You can take time to go to our website and sign up for the KOAM Birthday Club. And here's why. You get special deals from local businesses. Additionally, you get a nice happy birthday message from your friends here at KOAM. So all you need to do, it's super simple. You go to KOAMNewsNow.com and then you just sign up for the KOAM Birthday Club. So do it today. Well, coming up with the KOAM Morning News makes the move over to Fox 14. Our own Amber Jenkins takes us inside one of Joplin's newest kitchens. Wait until you see what they're cooking. The Doman Kitchen teaches cooking classes, but the kitchen's owner says what the classes offer is so much more, not just for participants, but the community as well. We'll let that story simmer until you join us for the KOAM Morning News over on Fox 14. All right, something else not simmering so much is the rain. We've got plenty of it out there. MoDOT camera, I-44 and range line showing rainfall. And if I step where you can see the rain in the light, it's raining pretty good in Joplin right now at 7th and range line. And here's a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Got showers, a few thunderstorms out there. Some of us getting a brief break before more showers and thunderstorms roll in. Additional activity developing over northeastern Oklahoma and will continue to roll our way. And we look out west of Oklahoma City and you got it. More shower and thunderstorm activity building in and will be rolling our way because it is going to rain for a while today. 49 raining in Joplin, feeling like 47. East breeze at 6 miles an hour. Temperatures across the region look like this. They're mostly in the 40s with some 50s in there. 45 Chanute, Neodesha, Parsons. 50 Miami, Veneta, Anderson, and Neosho. 49 Carthage. 46 in Lamar. That MoDOT camera again showing us those wet roads, which is why we do have this red light for you. For your morning commuters, we'll see showers, thunderstorms, some heavy rain, slick spots, and heavy rain could reduce your visibility a bit. Yellow light for the drive home because we'll be clear and a little bit on the mild side, but there could still be a few wet spots out there. Kids getting on the bus. Showers, thunderstorms at 7 a.m., 48 degrees with a light east breeze. Then the system rolls on through. We could have a stray shower or two by 3. I think most of us should be dry. We're looking at 55. Wind shifts out of the southwest, starts gusting to 25. We're up to 59 today. Showers and thunderstorms should be most of the way out of here by about 2, 3 o'clock. We're left with mostly clear skies and breezy conditions. Then we get on the backside of this and a north wind comes in, drops us down to 32 for our low tonight. So quite cold, but still technically above average, believe it or not. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast because this system kicks us back down to average. We're 44 tomorrow, 47 on Friday. Some evening showers Saturday could lead to a light wintry mix on Sunday. No major accumulations, but slick spots definitely possible, so be careful. Up to 46 Monday and partly cloudy, and then maybe some evening showers next Tuesday, up to 52. Let's look at your forecast. We're back with a lot more right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Firefighters in Joplin battle a burning vacant house right next to a house that burned on Monday. Joplin Fire Department, Joplin Police, and Met's ambulance responded to reports of the structure fire in the 1800 block of South Pearl at about 2 p.m. Tuesday afternoon. The residence, 1818 South Pearl, is next door to a vacant home that caught fire on Monday. No one was inside the home. Joplin Fire had the blaze under control by 2:30. Joplin Fire Marshal is investigating the property. Last night, just before 8 p.m., Jasper Fire and Rescue, Avila Fire Department, and the Carthage Fire Department all responded to reports of an overturned semi near the jurisdictional lines of County Road 80 and Nutmeg Road in Jasper County. At about 10:45, crews managed to right the semi, which had been hauling a large coil of metal. The roadway was reopened to all traffic around midnight. The driver was not injured. Kansas Crossing Casino in Pittsburgh is now allowing sports betting. The casino on Tuesday unveiled 3 new kiosks as part of a partnership with Caesars Sportsbook. The kiosk will allow for pregame and live sports betting. Casino officials say they expect the kiosk to be pretty popular. Doman Kitchen is a new cooking school in Joplin, making learning how to cook more accessible in the community. Since opening 3 weeks ago, classes have been sold out, and Doman Kitchen is adding more classes and chefs to meet the community's needs. They say cooking classes will improve your skills in the kitchen, but connecting with other foodies can have a greater impact. Barb Doman established Doman Kitchen not only to teach others how to cook, but to create a bigger foodie community in Joplin. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And as you head out the door, we're dealing with showers, maybe even a few thunderstorms out there. They should be gone by about 2 or 3 o'clock, leaving us with mostly clear skies, a high of 59, but that should occur, believe it or not, during the rain. And we'll also have a gusty southwest breeze at about 25. The wind shifts out of the north later tonight. We drop back down to a low of 32 degrees under partly cloudy skies, and this system knocks our temperatures cold, but back to normal as we hang on to the 40s through Monday. We're decent tomorrow and Friday. When light rain, shower chances Saturday evening could turn into a light wintry mix by Sunday. No major accumulations expected, but watch out for slick spots. Then we're up to 46 Monday, 52 next Tuesday with some additional evening showers.
All right, well, coming up today at noon, we're making chicken and wild rice soup in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. What does it take to become a flight attendant today? Well, ahead on CBS Mornings, Janet Shyamalan looks at the intense training flight attendants undergo to earn their wings.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. And this morning, Bring a spoon because we're going to meet someone with bragging rights to award-winning macaroni and cheese.
Not just regular mac and cheese. We're talking award-winning mac and cheese. Plus, the auto industry takes a closer look at e-vehicles now that the awards are rolling in. But that's going to wrap it up for us for now over here. We're going to see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you again today at noon.